Hello guys, welcome to Learn with Sanz. So today we will learn about dependency inversion principle. So what is dependency inversion principle? So dependency inversion principle is one of the very important principle of s.o.l.i.d principle. And if we look at its definition, it's mainly state the 2 points. Number one, the high level module should not depend on low level modules, both should depend on abstraction. And the second is abstraction should not depend on details, rather details should depend upon abstraction. So before we try to understand this definition, let's try to understand this with an example. We will come back to this definition so that this definition will make much more sense. Let's say we want to build an app so that we can save the contact in a SQL database. So let's take an example of a simple app here that I built. So here I have created this contact save app, which will be our high level module. And within this class, I'm using this SQL database context class so that I initialize this class in the constructor, and using this class, I'm saving the person. So I'm simply saving the contact using this class. So in overall, this high level class contact save app class is directly depend upon the SQL database context class. Now if you look at these individual classes, it's very simple. So I got this SQL database context class where I have this set method that I am passing the person, and I'm just writing a simple like message saying that successfully saved the person in SQL database, right? And then I got this person class with few properties, and that's it. Now when we use that app in the main program, let's say we are creating this person and we are initializing this contact save app, and we pass this person to save the contact. Now this class works perfectly fine. Like if you run this program, it will create a person and it will save the data in like you can see successfully saved the person in a SQL database. So if you look at the program, like it's very simple program. Now why we need dependency inversion principle? So in this case, let's say that in future we want to replace the SQL database with Oracle database. Now what we need to do? So in that case, if we need to replace the SQL database with Oracle database, in this scenario, what will happen is we need to now modify this contact save app, because you can see the SQL database context class is tightly coupled with this context save app, right? So if you want to add Oracle database context, then what you need to do is first you need to replace this one with Oracle database context, and then you need to modify over here, which means we need to modify the like the class that was actually working before. So basically it's violating the open close principle. So overall like our class is tightly coupled. So design wise also like we can say this is not a good architecture design app, because it cannot adapt with the changes. So like I say, like if we need to replace SQL database with Oracle, then we need to modify the like the working code, which is not a good way of like doing the coding. So what is the solution then? So the solution will be like applying the dependency inversion principle. So how can we do that over here? So if we were using the dependency inversion principle, this application will be like this. So first of all, we would have created interface, iDatabase context. And this SQL database context should have uh, use this interface iDatabase context. And since iDatabase context had this set method where we are passing the person, so that way if you go to the main program context save f, now here it will be like iDatabase context, and we should have inject the dependency inject over here like database context db, and it should be like this. Now over here, if you can see, we are now injecting this dependency through the constructor. So if you look at the main program, we would inject that. So for this one, we will be passing the SQL database context, right? Now if you run this program, again it worked perfectly fine, right? Now in future, as I mentioned, if we want to replace this SQL database context with Oracle, or if suppose if you want to extend so that we want to support the Oracle database also, then what we can do is now we can simply add a new class, Oracle database context, and we can simply use that, and we can program for the interface. So over here we will implement interface, and let's say we got something, let's say successfully set the person in Oracle database, right? Now in the main program, if we need to replace SQL database with Oracle, then we can simply replace this with Oracle database context. And you can see the beauty that we now don't need to modify anything in this class. So that class will be untouched. We don't need to make any changes in this class. And if we run this class, you will see now the database has successfully set the person in now Oracle database, right? Cool. So even in future, if say we want to replace that with s.o.l.i.d, then we can do the same thing, like we can create a new class s.o.l.i.d database context, and we can implement the iDatabase context, and then we will just override this save method, to implement the saving process in the s.o.l.i.d database. So that way, like in a main program, again we can replace this Oracle database context with the s.o.l.i.d database context. And the beauty is now you can see we are not modifying the code over here. This code is totally untouched, and this also means that also our high level module, this context set is now loosely coupled with the low level module, in this case the our database context. All right, so what's the main benefit of dependency inversion principle? So if you look at this diagram, before we implement the dependency inversion principle, our context set app, which is the high level module, was tightly coupled with the SQL database context, which is a low level module. But with dependency inversion principle, we have introduced the new interface iDatabase context, and now this context set app is dependent on the interface and not on this low level module SQL database context. And even the SQL database context is now depend on this interface iDatabase context, which means our both high level and low level module are now depend on the interface. And I hope you learned something today. And if you like this video, please share this video with your friends, give thumbs up, and please subscribe my channel. And I will see you soon with my next video. Thank you so much.